Thai lawmakers to vote on Prime Minister next week in a creative theatrical journey through history. These are the headlines for tonight. Good evening. You're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, and you're watching TVS Nightline. Thai lawmakers will vote for a new Prime Minister next week after a court rejected a bid by election winner Move Forward Party to challenge Parliament's blocking of its candidate. The Constitutional Court dismissed the petition by allies of the party on a technicality, arguing its prime ministerial candidate, Pita Limjaroenrat, was not among the complainants. Thailand has been under a caretaker administration since March, and Parliament has been deadlocked for weeks over the formation of the next government after the anti-establishment Move Forward met fierce resistance from conservative lawmakers allied with the royalist military. Move Forward was the surprise winner in the May election, riding on the back of huge youth and urban support for a liberal policy platform that took aim at some of Thailand's most powerful interest groups, including big business monopolies and the military. The court's rejection was the latest in a succession of blows for Move Forward. Pita said the party will not give up its fight to govern. The Pheu Thai party, which was a close second in the election, withdrew its backing for Move Forward after Pita's renomination was rejected. Pheu Thai is lobbying aggressively for support from conservative, army-backed lawmakers for its candidate, real estate tycoon Srettha Thavisin. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri FADILLAH Yusof took the lead among 77 honorees receiving the second batch of the commemorative medals in conjunction with the 60th anniversary of Sarawak's independence, held at the State Legislative Assembly Complex on Wednesday. The Minister of Plantation and Commodities and Petrajaya Member of Parliament was conferred the Gold Pingat Peringatan Cemerlang Jubilee Intan, presented by Sarawak's Premier Datuk Peninggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg.
Meanwhile, the other 43 recipients of the gold medal comprised of 31 elected representatives, while another 11 recipients included Senate President Tan Sri Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jafar. At the same time, 34 recipients were scheduled to receive the Pingat Peringatan Cemerlang Jubilee Intan Perak. However, 2 of them were unable to attend the event. On July 22nd, the first batch of recipients received their medals. These medals are presented to individuals who have made significant contributions to Sarawak's development and demonstrated exceptional service to the state.
One of Sarawak's historical figures will be on the theatre stage as Rentak. The Battle of Bukit Sadok is set to grace the halls of Sarawak Cultural Village on August 18 and 19. For more, our reporter Ahmad Azlan Shah on location. Over to you, Azlan.
Thank you, Lorenzo. This musical drama, Rentak, the Battle of Bukit Sadok, will feature Anding Indrawani as the lead actor, as Rentak himself. We have also a line of actors and actresses such as Melissa Francis, Jay Iswazir, Nick Jason, and Arwan Umar, and many more. Also, about 80 dancers and children from the Sarawak Cultural Village themselves. Also, students from Sekolah Seni Malaysia Sarawak will be involved in this musical. And this musical theatre will take around 1 hour and 30 minutes. All right. Okay. The play will be evolved around the young Rentak before he became the famous warrior that we know now. All right. The theme play will be staged on August 18th and 19th of 2023, where the first night will be attended by the Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Datuk Seri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah himself. All right. This was one of the highlights for the Sarawak Harvest and Folklore Festival that will be in Sarawak Cultural Village throughout the event. All right. I think that is all from me right now. Any more info I will share on our digital site, and yeah, that's it. So this is Azlan. This is Ahmad Azlan Shah reporting at Sarawak Cultural Village. Back to you.
Thank you, Azlan, for the updates. Now, moving on, the installation of multi-operator core network MUKAN transmitters at every telecommunication tower in Sarawak is set to accelerate internet network coverage across the state. Minister of Utilities and Telecommunications, Datuk Julaihi Narawi, stated that through the Sarawak Digital Economy Corporation, or SDEC, MUKAN aims to furnish essential telecommunication equipment, enabling telecommunication companies to employ a unified set of transmitters or delivering services to users. Julaihi pointed out that an estimated time frame is required for the installation of telecommunication equipment on these towers.
Siap dia perlu pasangkan dengan peralatan telekomunikasi. Jadi one part is normally saya dimaklumkan bahawa it takes about 9 months to construct one menara, satu tower. Dan it takes another 9 months to install the telecommunication equipment di menara tersebut. And then of course dia perlu di-energize. Dia perlukan electricity supply dari untuk membolehkan menara tersebut beroperasi.
Julaihi further added that the MUKAN platform approach was selected based on the complexity of operations and cost structure of telecommunications usage in rural areas.
Dia ada sasaran dia. So kalau kita sekarang anggap there could be a tower there, but then there is no equipment, meaning that they want to siap menara serahkan kepada yang ada order ataupun kontraktor untuk pasangkan equipment itu satu.
As of now, out of the 7,000 telecommunication towers planned for Sarawak, 3,708 have been completed in various locations across the state.
Minister of Utilities and Telecommunications Sarawak Datuk Julaihi Narawi said that the regional Maxis Internet Hub, first established in Kuching, has contributed to enhancing internet speed and bringing significant improvements to internet accessibility for telecommunication users, particularly in video streaming and mobile gaming in Sarawak. He emphasized that the construction of the Internet Hub will expedite digital transformation across the entirety of the state. Julaihi announced that digital transformation is one of the crucial components or enablers for Sarawak to develop 6 identified economic sectors, leading the state towards a high-income status by 2030, along with the prosperity of its citizens.
Dan saya berharap lebih ramai lagi service providers dan co-providers yang lain akan menurut dan mengikut langkah yang diambil oleh pihak Maxis supaya dapat membantu kita mempercepatkan transformasi digital statewide di seluruh Sarawak dalam masa terdekat. Because this is one of the 7 enablers yang amat penting sekali untuk kita menggerakkan, mempercepatkan pembangunan ekonomi yang telah dirancangkan oleh Kerajaan Sarawak.
As such, he also expressed hope that the construction of the Internet Hub will encompass the entire internet network and bridge the gap between urban and rural users. He stressed that more efficient and rapid connectivity will ensure the acceleration of digital development in Sarawak, further promoting innovation and the utilization of technology in entrepreneurship, education, and related sectors.
Sarawak has observed a noticeable dip in its birth rate. Minister of Women, Children and Community Wellbeing Development, Datuk Sri Fatimah Abdullah, disclosed a 50% reduction for 2 consecutive years in comparison to 2020. Fatimah announced that this decline is in contrast to the 40,000 births recorded in 2020 and previous years.
Jadi kami yang mengendali endowment fund Sarawak, di mana setiap anak kelahiran Sarawak boleh memohon RM1,000 endowment fund ini. Dan kita memantau, Masya Allah, nak menurun banyak gila upah. Oh, sebab COVID kali. sebab COVID susah mereka sukar untuk mendaftar kelahiran anak ya sebab perlu buat appointment dengan Jabatan Pendaftaran. We thought that was the main contributing factor.
She told this to reporters during the Wacana Minda Issues of Aging in Sarawak program in Kuching on Wednesday. Furthermore, she added that the decline in the birth rate is also connected to factors contributing to the issue of an aging population in Sarawak. Sarawak is projected to achieve an aged state status by 2028, 2 years ahead of Malaysia's goal of becoming an aged nation by 2030. Hence, all parties are urged to collaborate in addressing the aging population issue to ensure the rights of the elderly are upheld for the collective well-being nationwide. We'll be taking a short break. Coming up next, dengue cases up 4.7%, 2 deaths reported nationwide. Tripoli conflict claims lives of 27 individuals. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Welcome back. A Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) signed between the Sarawak Dayak Graduates Association (SDGA) and Nanjing Agricultural University (NAU) aims to boost the agriculture systems in Sarawak. Noting that with the state's aim in achieving a developed status by 2030, SDGA President Dr. Jawing Chungat said agriculture is an important step they are looking into. Hence, the collaboration is expected to be a catalyst for the state's aspiration in becoming the main producer of food in the region.
And we are very happy that this morning the ministry has received us with open arms and are very open to any potential collaborations in the future. And I hope that with this partnership together with Nanjing Agricultural University, of which we signed a Memorandum of Understanding yesterday at our headquarters in SDGA, we hope that this would be a catalyst for further development of the agricultural sector and also to help with the aspiration of the Sarawak government to be a net food exporter by the year 2030.
At the same time, Dean of Nanjing Agricultural University, Professor Dr. Han Ji-kin, said his team will identify the area of focus related to rice cultivation, breeding, and medicines to pinpoint the development capacity and the next collaboration.
So Nanjing Agricultural University, which already has history of more than 120 years, during these years we have been working very hard to improve or to modernize agriculture and increase the income of the farmers, as well as to provide young people with more opportunities or with a conducive environment that they are able to work in agriculture.
He added that through extensive experience working with more than 30 countries in development capacity, including providing various types of scholarships for master's and doctoral degrees, PhDs, he urged graduates in Malaysia to join the master's and doctor of philosophy program in related fields which will benefit Sarawak. Now was established in 1902 and is considered one of the best universities in China in terms of agriculture.
The number of dengue fever cases increased by 4.7% to 2,542 cases in the 31st epidemiological week, ME31, from July 30th to August 5th, compared to 2,427 cases in the previous week. Health Director General Dr. Muhammad Razi Abu Hassan said 2 deaths due to dengue fever complications were also reported in ME31.
He said the number of cumulative dengue fever cases reported so far was 71,193 compared to 32,521 cases in the corresponding period last year, an increase of 118.9% or 38,672 cases. Dr. Muhammad Razi said, however, the number of hotspot localities dropped to 86 from 93 in the previous week. Of the total, 69 localities were in Selangor, 7 in Kuala Lumpur and Putrajaya, 3 each in Perlis and Kedah, and 2 each in Negeri Sembilan and Sabah. Meanwhile, Dr. Muhammad Razi said 2 chikungunya cases were recorded in ME31, bringing the cumulative number of cases to 147. As for the surveillance of Zika, 1,862 blood samples and 129 urine samples were screened, and the results were all negative. He said that hot weather alternating with rain was a favorable condition for Aedes mosquitoes to breed.
Back in Kuching, a few more days left before the Kuching Food Festival KFF wraps up, and like any other year, food enthusiasts got to enjoy dishes that are not commonly found in the city. Vendors have expressed satisfaction when it comes to their sales, though some experience a slight drop due to economic challenges. As a newcomer for KFF, Taco by Hanaya serve a creative yet innovative take on the Mexican dish, using contrasting colors to attract hungry customers.
Yes, our first time here at Kuching Fest, so the crowd has been amazing. They are very daring to try our new products. As you can see, our products here, this is our signature product. You cannot find this anywhere, I believe. It's our Blackpink taco, this whole piece of unagi, which is no less than 50 centimeters, as well as the D24 durian in the center, in between the rice and everything. So it's quite something new, and it's quite surprising that Sarawakians are daring to try this product at this time.
Since it is their first time with KFF, Jeremy said there is no standard of sales to compare to, but is rather satisfied to provide their customers with unique and tasty food not commonly found in the city. For another regular vendor, Taco Nut, experienced a slight drop in sales. According to its chef, Hafizan Abdul Muttalib, their daily average sales in this year's KFF is about 3,000 ringgit, a difference of 1,000 ringgit in their average daily sales.
To be honest, last year sambutannya lebih meriah lah. Mungkin disebabkan tahun tu kita kekangan ekonomi lah apa semua, jadi customernya lebih memilih yang lebih macam yang jarangnya makan lah, ataupun ada menu baru. Sebab ya tahun tu kita ada menu baru lah, Golden York, yang baru dari yang lain lah.
They are giving out discount coupons for customers to spend at their stall as their last stride before KFF closes its curtain. Another newcomer for KFF, Tongmo Gula Apong, expressed their pleasant surprise when their dish has been selling well at the event. Ain Charmiza Suhaili, a supervisor from sister company Al Noor, said their dish caught the attention of many food-goers, particularly Muslims, due to its resemblance to foods that are commonly non-halal.
Mun di Kamboja, benda ya daging yang dah si bagus, tapi nya proses dijadikan makanan sida. Tapi kita tu kami orang tu pakai yang fresh lah, kan takut lidah kita tu orang pada kenanya masam mo. Orang ingat ya basi, tapi nya sebenarnya nang macam ya, nang rasanya macam ya.
Masa tomo sebenarnya gini.
Nya masam. Oh, tapi tu nya si masam. Sebab kita ada gelapong jadi si masam. So kami orang pun suka je mun masam. Kami orang pernah cari juga yang original dari Kamboja ya. Nya masam lah, nya macam sesuai dengan tekak. And kami orang pun sos pun homemade. Sos style-nya kami orang pun dah sendiri semua.
Tongmo Gula Apong said Ain has no physical shops and only partakes in events across Sarawak to maintain its exclusivity and demand. KFF will end this Sunday, August 20th.
Moving on to international affairs. At least 27 individuals lost their lives and an additional 106 were injured during armed confrontations between two prominent armed groups in Libya's capital, Tripoli. The clashes took place between the influential 444 Brigade and Al-Rada'ah, also known as the Special Deterrence Force. The conflict commenced late on Monday night and persisted into Tuesday. Authorities evacuated at least 234 families and dispatched over 60 ambulances to the scene following the outbreak. The conflict arose after the detention of Colonel Mahmoud Hamza, the head of the 444 Brigade, by the rival Al-Rada'ah force on Monday. Earlier on Tuesday, the spokesperson for the Libyan National Unity Government, Mohamed Hamouda, reported that Prime Minister Abdul Hamid Debeh had agreed to a ceasefire agreement in the Souk al-Juma'ah area of Tripoli. The agreement involves handing over the 444th Brigade commander to a neutral party. Souk al-Juma'ah is one of the largest areas in the capital, Tripoli, and the commander of the Special Deterrence Force, Abdul Rauf Kara, hails from it. On May 28, Tripoli witnessed clashes that lasted for hours between the two groups over the detention of a leading member of the 444th Brigade. The death toll from the horrific Maui wildfires surpassed 106 on Tuesday as local and state officials warned that the number would rise. Acknowledging public frustration from residents still barred from visiting Lahaina, its state governor, Josh Green, said a makeshift morgue was expanded to deal with the tragedy.
As I mentioned earlier, we have a large force of people here on the ground. We now have 416 people from FEMA, 273 specifically from the National Guard as well, 185 in the emergency response. with 20 dogs, finding those who have suffered. 101 lives have now been lost. 27% of the survey has been completed.
Meanwhile, Green said over a quarter of the disaster zone has been searched with dogs trained to look for bodies combing the ashes of what was once Lahaina, a picturesque tourist spot on Maui. Green has repeatedly warned that the final count from the last week's inferno in Lahaina, already the deadliest U.S. wildfire in over a century, would grow significantly, urging Hawaiians to gird for a number that could be 2 or 3 times its present level. Meanwhile, in the kitchen at the University of Hawaii Culinary School in Kahului, about 50 kilometers north of Lahaina, some of the archipelago's most renowned chefs sprang into action to help as best as they could, in the kitchen with 9,000 meals prepared every day. Dozens of trays of food disappear in minutes, with an endless row of volunteers filling small containers, which are then placed in coolers. Simeon, a Maui-based chef known nationally as an ambassador of Hawaiian cuisine and other culinary stars, such as fellow top chef contestant Lee Ann Wong, whose restaurant was raised in the fire, are now working in 3 shifts to feed the homeless and those who remain in Lahaina. Lahaina, an historic tourist town of about 12,000 people on Maui's west coast, was devastated by a raging fire last week, leaving at least 96 dead and thousands homeless. Over 1,400 residents who lost everything are now in shelters, staying with relatives or spending the night in their cars.
The death toll from a landslide at an unregulated jade mine in a remote part of Myanmar has hit at least 31, with 8 people still missing, rescuers said on Wednesday. The disaster struck on Sunday just outside of northern Kachin's township after torrential rain and floods ravaged the region over the weekend.
Jade mining in Myanmar is lucrative due to high demand from neighboring China, but the unregulated industry is plagued with frequent worker deaths. 6 bodies were recovered in the morning, buried under thick mud, while others were discovered floating in water. A massive pile of earth about 150 to 180 meters high, left behind by mining excavations, was loosened by the intense rainfall and collapsed, according to rescuers. The rainy season had forced the suspension of mine operations, but those caught in the landslide are believed to be locals who were trying to find something valuable in the mud. Myanmar is the world's biggest source of jade, and in 2020, nearly 300 people lost their lives in a massive landslide at the mine. The industry is worth billions of dollars each year to Myanmar's ruling military and its business allies, according to activists.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media platforms. And that is all for TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching and have a good night.